Hello and welcome back to the Eden Gathering podcast. I am your one and only host, Mr. Alex Laver, and we got a guy called Ben with us.
This is BS, man. Why? When did it get decided that our roles would be reversed?
I don't know, but I feel like I did a hostile takeover. You've got that look on your face like I just, you know, in like a lawyer film or a crime film when someone just buys someone out or kills off all their staff.
Yeah.
I feel like I've just taken over the business.
Do you know what annoys me most about it, Alex? Is that you're sitting in my chair.
I am sitting in your chair. I'm sitting in your chair and I'm surrounded by equipment. You can barely see my face. And
that's the thing that's really annoying me. But there's also another thing that's annoying me, right?
Right, what's this?
This beef you've got? Thanks for having me on that. So I arrived thinking that I misunderstood. Or something was misunderstood.
Yeah.
And
You thought you were interviewing me,
so
didn't
I
you?
came prepared to interview you,
Yeah.
but actually you're interviewing me.
Yeah.
So one of the things, I know that you want to interview me,
Yes.
but first, can I just ask you one question?
Oh, okay. Oh, is this why you've been keeping your notepad a secret?
Yeah, just literally
Fantastic.
one question.
Okay.
Can you beatbox?
Can I beatbox?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, I don't think any man with a lisp ever has attempted to beatbox.
Yeah,
or
have you got a lisp?
I've got a lisp, yeah.
No.
I used to actually, this is like an insight. Why are you interviewing me? No, this is like an insight into my world. I used to have a lisp up until, like a really bad lisp, up until I was like 16.
Oh.
And then
I genuinely didn't. I'm not doing that thing where it's like someone says, I know I've put on a few pounds, and you're like, I had no idea. Really?
I have, to be fair, I've just come off an all-inclusive holiday, bragging. And I've put on weight because of all the food.
What? No, genuinely. Okay.
Anyway,
So the reason why I asked that question is because I thought I was interviewing you.
Yeah.
And I'd actually written you a rap.
Oh, you've written me a rap?
Yeah.
Well, a rap for me to do or a rap for you to do?
Well, I was hoping that you could lay down a beat and that
Okay.
I could deliver the rap.
Okay.
But I might have to do it a cappella.
I could do a Christian beat, which is just...
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Don't speed up now.
a metronome.
Alex Laver. Yeah, he's the saviour. Being weird and quirky, irrational behaviour. Alex, aka, he's called Patches. He blows people's mind with the footage that he captures. Laver, the man behind the camera, with his style inspired by a llama, no drama. Alex is cool. He makes the Eden podcast. We use him like a tool. Alex, we love you, and it's time to find out more. Not true now. So we'll ask you some questions. Please don't be a bore.
Hey, he's done it again. Maybe for the first time.
I genuinely was so excited. I wrote that rap for you, and it's not. I mean,
I can see why you were hiding your notepad from me, because that was a lot of effort. And
I even put
time.
drop mic.
Oh,
in my
really?
notes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but the mic is on a stand.
I feel a bit insecure about it now.
No, you did an amazing job, and I'm sorry this is all misinformed, and that I have to pry into your life.
Yeah. Well, mate, you can pry and prod and
lovely.
poke, and I'll disclose everything.
Fantastic.
Hide nothing.
If you haven't listened to the Eden Gathering podcast before, we do a little system. We kind of do a little, almost a kind of a schedule each month. We do a book club or a book review each month, and we got another one coming up this month. We do live from the Eden Gathering every month.
Live though, is it?
Well,
I mean, if it was live, then you'd have to be there.
All right.
But
okay.
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Mr. Pedantic.
You're not doing a great job of hosting. I'm joking. You're doing really well. I'm out of a job.
Yeah. So we do live from the Eden Gathering, and then we also do my favourite, the panel of idiots, where we basically just get a bunch of people together, mostly Matt Levitt, to talk about whatever they want to talk about, random stuff, and that's going to come up this month. But the one we're doing today is the interview. We do an interview once a month with a person of interest, and we decided that...
But no one was around.
Everybody's away for the summer, so we decided it would be a good idea to get Ben on and to kind of pry into his life. If you guys are interested as well, we did like a video interview with Ben about a year and a half ago.
Gosh.
When he first started at the Forge Community Church. And
I was shy in that video.
you were very shy in that video. You looked a bit like Elvis, which I loved as well. And I wish you'd bring that haircut back. But
It's growing, man. I'm trying.
we did we did an interview with him, but it's nice to kind of recap and talk to him again and see what his life is like a year and a bit on.
I feel like Eden's a bit naughtier as well.
Eden's, naughty. Yeah.
So I feel like this could get interesting.
We're the Monty Python of our day. We say the things, the weird.
All right. First thing about me is that I never got the Monty Python thing.
Oh, really?
So is Monty
weird.
Python Life of Brian?
Yeah, that's Life of Brian. Yeah.
And that's the one about Jesus.
Yes. Well,
So
sort of. Yeah. Mostly about
I
Brian.
understand. Like, I was just not brought up that was okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. My dad.
Not specifically that.
Yeah.
But like, there's something just so uneasy. Like, I went to watch it the other day because I'm like, I'm old enough, I'm grown up about it. Like, first scene, I was like, no, I just.
No, you're not into this. No.
Well, I just.
No, it's fair enough.
It's not funny to me. Like,
No, fair enough.
And I'm
I can
not that
understand that,
guy
yeah.
that's like easly offended. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
My dad actually got in trouble when he was younger for screening it at like his SU when he was at uni.
Really?
And he got in trouble with like local churches and stuff because they were like.
So I don't know if I'm offended by it, but I just just doesn't sit right.
Don't sit right. What about Holy Grail? Holy Grail's good. You've never
I've
seen
never,
it?
I've not seen any.
No, I was a Monty
Anything-
Python kid or guy back in the
John
day.
Cleese, isn't it?
He's one of them. Yeah. He's one of the Pythons.
Because like Faulty Towers is my jam.
Oh, really?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So that hits well with you,
Yeah.
but you can't get on Python.
No, is it the Holy Grail that's about Jesus then?
No.
I think it's the
Life of Brian is about Jesus or about
Okay.
Brian being the
but
Messiah.
that's not specifically like, because I don't know if it's a mick take.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of.
Yeah.
That was.
But I can't even watch Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay.
It really sits uneasy with me. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're making like a musical out of the most important event
Yeah.
in my life.
Okay, fair
Like,
enough.
this
Yeah,
is
no, I
not
get that.
something we can sing songs about and like
Yeah.
be really camp about and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
modernize and like, well, I'm not sure about Jesus having
Yeah.
romantic feelings. And it's like, nah, man, like this is sacred to me. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so important to me.
Yeah.
That like you can't just waltz in here, Andrew Lloyd Webber, and take that away from it. I love you,
weird
bro.
frog face.
Like, stick to the Phantom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I can totally get on that.
Is
Yeah,
that a
no,
big enough tangent for you?
Will it be edited out? That is the question. No, it won't
You have
be.
to ask the producer.
But yeah, we're going to be delving deeper into your opinions, into your likes and dislikes in this next sort of half an hour. All the questions that I've kind of put down because I'm very, very unprepared. They're very general kind of questions. I wanted to dig deep. I wanted to be a little bit, you know.
You're no Parkinson, are you?
No, I'm no Parkinson. No. Well, I can't.
You're more of an Alan Carr.
I do have a Globes drinks cabinet at home, to be fair, which is, you know, anyway. So you are a bit, I'm assuming you're a bit like me in the sense that you didn't grow up in Suffolk.
No,
You didn't grow up in Suffolk. Where did you grow up and what was your background?
I am an Essex boy,
Ah, nice.
loud and proud.
If you could see us right now, you'd be able to see the tan and you'd be able to see that
I
he
glow.
is speaking the truth.
I glow. I'm drinking Stella. I'm wearing a wife beater, and that's how you'd be able to tell. In fact, right, normally you can tell by how I talk, but I think I've been here for long enough that I actually talk quite well now.
Oh wow, okay, so you've completely
Yeah, but I was with my family last week, and I slipped back into it. Not that they talk bad,
Yeah.
but they call me the only Cockney from Essex because I can get a bit like that, a bit Danny Dyer.
get a little bit rowdy.
Yeah, what? But no, like I think like my natural level of Essex is about Ollie Mers.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So he's from where I'm from.
National treasure, Ollie Mers.
Yeah.
My wife loves him a little bit too much.
He's gorgeous.
She is asking Alexa on a daily basis to play his albums.
No, I love it. But that's my natural habitat.
Ah, fantastic.
It's cultured at Essex. And yeah, moved up here January this year. So I've been at the Forge for longer than I've lived here.
Yeah, because you used to
Yeah, I used to commute.
Which is how was that? Oh, how's been living in Stowmarket just from a practical point of view? Have you enjoyed it a lot more? Have you been able to make friends?
Do you know what? I actually love it, and I loved Colchester. But I can't believe how different it is. It's half an hour up the flipping road, but it's totally different. Everyone's so chilled up here, so nice. Everything's so cheap. Yeah, and it's one of those things that all came together. Like we couldn't afford to live in Colchester, and then I got the job up here, and then we expanded our family. You know what I mean? Like it all kind of fitted together.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just love the community that we're a part of. And we looked at all different places.
There's a digger going past.
There's a digger going past. Like if I didn't, that is Stowmarket, that is Suffolk. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I've adjusted way better than I thought. I miss my family.
Yeah.
But they're looking at moving up here.
Oh, really?
So that'd be awesome. I've sold it to them a bit. Yeah, but I think like as well, not depending on your family is no bad thing. I think it's good to push yourself in that way.
Yeah.
And I know they're always there for me. I know they're always there for me, and they are, and it's only half an hour down the road, as I say. But
yeah,
it's good to push yourself in that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Not to default to, and challenge yourself to make new friends and go to new places, and just get out of the rut of your life.
Definitely.
Really,
It's
good. It's healthy. I'd encourage everyone to do it.
Kind of move away. And
I mean, I couldn't have done what you've done because I mean, I'm not interviewing you, but
no, you're allowed to ask me questions. No, there's no rules on this podcast.
You come from
Wild
pasties,
West.
don't you?
I come from not really, no, because that's Cornwall more than anything. I am from the land of cream, of cream and jam.
Okay.
For the most part, I'm originally from Devon. And I definitely get what you mean. Like I'm trying to convince my parents to move up here.
Yeah.
And I recently got married, and at the wedding.
Oh, Alex, why don't you talk about it a bit more? Flipping heck!
We knew
Give
it
us
was
a
going to
break.
come up. We knew it was going to come up.
Was it since we've been recording that you mentioned your honeymoon and your wedding, or is that just all before?
No.
And the weight that you put on.
Oh yeah, the weight that.
So
I put on.
that's only 3 mentions. We've been going 10 minutes.
I'm just so proud. I'm so proud that I've managed to find a woman who puts up with me. So I just need to shout it to the world. No, it's okay. When my parents were around, or when my entire family were around, I kind of felt that. I felt that kind of thing of, I've reached this point where I've gone out and I've been working and I've found a wife.
Yeah.
But now I kind of miss my family, and now it's that kind of thing. Like I've pushed out and I've been independent. So I much like Ben was saying. Obviously, my move was kind of a little bit more drastic, but I would definitely encourage people to kind of push themselves
for me,
like
mate,
that.
Like on that, for me, big life events have drawn me closer to my family.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So when I got married, I remember like feeling like one of the closest I've ever been to my family.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you probably feel that as you've just got married. I don't know if you guys know, but Alex just got married. But do you know what I mean? And having
definitely.
a kid, and I don't know, because I wasn't that... I wasn't that involved with my family.
Yeah.
From probably the latter part of secondary school.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
To when I got married.
Yeah.
It was really, I mean, my wife's done a lot to improve that. And there's no beef.
No.
It's just I wasn't as
You just weren't as connected, or you didn't feel. I think it definitely, as you said, it
I didn't feel unloved or anything.
No, not at all. I've met your parents. They seem like they're very lovely people. I can't imagine they would ever do that. But like I can imagine. I can see what you mean. Like again, I moved away.
Yeah.
But when I moved away to university, I was set on being independent.
Yeah.
And so during that time, I was very much like, I don't really know what to do with my family. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's not a thing where you sit there and you say, I have a beef with them or anything like that. It's more you don't necessarily know how they're how they fit into what you're trying to do.
I just want them to be a part of big stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm a big occasions guy.
Yeah. Have you found like since having a kid, have you found that really like tied everybody together like snap like really quickly?
Yes and no.
Right, okay.
So I've got an older brother, a younger brother, and a younger sister, right?
Right.
And my parents still together.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So to give it just a bit of, without boring you with my family history, but my brother lives in Thailand.
Right.
And he moved a week after my wedding.
Right, okay.
Next time I saw him, JJ was 6 months old.
Oh, really? That's hard.
So I think that's my brother never knew me married, let alone as a dad.
Right. Yeah.
Until he came back.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously you stay in touch.
Yeah.
Facebook and, you know, but it's just not the same.
It's not the same, no.
So my wedding felt like the starting point for our family to disperse in a way.
Right.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so then my brother went to uni, settled in York, which is obviously the other end of the country.
Yeah. And
now my sister is in Liverpool.
Yeah.
So we feel very scattered now. And like when you have a baby, it's not like you can it's not like Christmas Day where you say like, hey, everyone come back for this date.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember my brother coming back from York. I think it worked out because JJ's born September. I think my brother was around. I remember him being around for that.
Yeah.
Or trying to be at least. My sister was around. But it's not like we've just come back from a week of holiday together. It's not like you can say a week where you're all going to be together. Sorry, man. I'm just all over. I've just, like, to be honest, my brother's just gone back to Thailand today.
Oh, today?
And I won't see him now till... So I've got a bun in the oven.
Yeah.
So my little girl that isn't born will be JJ's age.
Oh, seriously?
So that's really hard.
No, that's really hard.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure how to manage that relationship. I don't know how to do it. And it's really tough. And like, he's married now. I've met his wife 3 times, I think 4 times. And it's obviously quite an intense time when we're together, like in a good way. Like we make the most of it, but it's still like, so it having a kid does bring people together, but also it makes you realise the gaps. It makes the gaps bigger.
Right, okay.
Because a child's life advances so fast.
Yeah.
Like, even if I saw my sister once a month, that's the difference between JJ walking and not walking, or it's the difference between him standing up for the first time or saying this word, or do you know what I mean? Like, so those gaps feel bigger.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's really tough because I like, again, my wife Beth, she's kind of gone through a similar thing.
That's massive.
She but her sister having a kid kind of brought the family together in some ways, and because she lives up in Manchester, it's
cool kid, man. Really cool.
I love that boy. He's a menace sometimes, but he's the best. And the new one is even cuter. But when she first had Ezra, it was it kind of brought the family dynamic together in some ways, and their parents came back from France, and it became this thing. But it was also made, it made her relationship with her brother who lives in America kind of that much more intense, because it's like there's something on the line now. As you said, there's that thing of, he won't, like, Jez is coming back for her brother is coming back for
he didn't even
Christmas.
Make it to the wedding, did he?
He didn't make it to the wedding, which is, well, for happy and sad news, his wife is heavily pregnant, and she's due next month, I think. So
okay, so they just couldn't.
Yeah, they just couldn't. So they're coming back at Christmas, which is in some ways nicer. But he's never met Ezra, who's nearly 2.
Yeah,
Well, no, he
yeah.
is 2. In fact, he just turned 2.
Yeah.
So I definitely get what you mean. I experienced that
Yeah,
from
so
her
it just
point of
makes
view.
the gaps bigger, but also like kids are just the center of attention.
100%.
So there's always something to talk about.
Oh, definitely,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So we've found out where you're from, what your family are like, or your kind of family dynamic. One thing I find really interesting is like you've spoken a little bit about when you were younger, and you've sort of sown the seeds of you grew up in Colchester, and you've told me a little bit about your past. And I know obviously that original video we did kind of
past.
yeah, exactly. Well, Essex, but we went to. I remember we did that video, and you kind of got an insight into who you are a little bit on a surface level. But I'm still kind of unaware. I've known you for ever since you started the Forge, year and a half, yeah. And we've kind of got to know each other a little bit. But I still don't really know, kind of where you necessarily came from. Like, what was your first job, for example? Like what?
Oh, so yeah, good question in a way, but also incredibly boring answer.
Oh, really?
So I left school. Let me put this in way that everyone understands. So I left school after doing GCSEs, so high school, secondary school, whatever you want to call it.
Age
Because we
15,
see
16.
that seems to be an Essex Suffolk thing.
Oh, really? Okay, so they have like middle school and high school and all that stuff, don't they?
Here, yeah. But anyway, so I left school. I would have been 15.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm young, my year, and then went to sixth form college.
Yeah.
To do like academic subjects.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you what they are, and I didn't get on there at all.
Yeah.
It was a really tough time for me, and I'd done quite well in school. I'd worked really hard, but at school, like it sounds stupid, right?
Yeah.
But I was Danny Zuko in the school musical. And I was quite good at basketball.
Ah, okay.
And rugby and stuff.
Yeah.
Like not the best, but I didn't look like a total idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was like the time High School Musical came out.
Oh, right, yeah, yeah.
So I had the Zac Efron hair. I had, do you know what I mean? And there was like, it was actually quite cool to be in the musical.
Yeah, yeah.
It was quite cool to be kind of basketball.
Yeah,
and, you know, I was quite liked at school. And then I went to college. Sixth form, they call it over here. So I just went into a downward spiral at sixth form college for many reasons. I wasn't in a good place. My wife, she wasn't my wife then, but
because how long have you known her? You've known
gosh,
Kat
I've known her since I was 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Fancied her from the first moment I laid eyes on her. Genuine.
Oh, amazing.
Genuine.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah. And she knew I was going to marry her. She didn't know for a long time. But anyway, so, I mean, I'll go into it as much as you want, but I dropped out of sixth form.
Yeah.
I dropped out or got kicked out, whichever way you want to read it. Didn't do well there at all. And then I just got the first job I could. So I took an apprenticeship in customer services for a freight forwarding company.
Oh, okay.
So that's like, you know, those big containers that you see at Felixstowe.
Yeah.
I used to fill them up and ship them all over the place.
Oh, wow.
And then I worked my way up there, did a few different roles, and then eventually became the sales and marketing executive there.
Wow.
Within longer than that, sorry. 5-6 years maybe.
Yeah.
And that at that time was when social media was just like coming big. And I was like, I was ahead in my field. I just loved it.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of became a specialist in that.
Oh, wow.
And then a job came up in an anti-slavery organisation that I was kind of a part of and following anyway. And I knew the CEO and I loved the work so much. And I applied for a job there. I needed a degree to get it.
Right.
But I didn't have one, so just
went for it.
So then I got that job. So I headed up and built social media at the largest anti-slavery organisation in the world.
Wow.
And loved that job.
Yeah.
And then got offered a job at my church, my old church, which I did side by side, and then ended up at Forge.
Wow. Well, to be fair, you said, it's a boring start in some ways, but my first job was a spa shop.
Yeah, I mean, so I actually had a cooler job before that. So that was my first proper job, but I've always worked.
Oh, okay.
Always had a good work ethic. So
that's good. That's
had
really
paper
good.
rounds and stuff. And then my coolest job that I've ever had, cooler than this job, I used to be the guy that used to pick up balls at the golf club in the tractor. You know the guy that everyone aims at.
That's still my dream job. That's still one of my dream jobs.
Such a cool job. Headphones in, drive a tractor, cash in hand. So I used to get up on Saturday mornings and do that. I've always had a good work ethic, but that was the freight forwarding was my. But I always tell people people are always waiting for their dream job to come along.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life because I wasn't particularly good at anything. And people say, "Oh no, you are good at something." No, I wasn't actually good at anything.
You don't look fat, Ben.
No, but I wasn't good at anything. Yeah. I was okay with my hands, and I got okay GCSEs. I didn't know whether I wanted to be a plumber or an accountant. I wouldn't have been an accountant, but do you know what I mean? I didn't know whether I wanted to sit at a desk, or go change the world. So I just got a job.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then social media happened, and then IJM happened, the anti-slavery organisation, and then music happened. You know what I mean? And now I absolutely love what I get to do.
Yeah.
But I didn't even play guitar when I left sixth form college.
This is the thing. I remember we had a meeting, the week you started.
Yeah, you asked me a weird question. I can't remember what it was, but it's something about should I eat myself or something?
No, I didn't.
What part
I didn't
of myself
ask that.
would I eat?
No, that's Matt Levitt's primary question. Basically, a little insight into what the Forge is all about for some reason is when you start work here, and it might be the same in loads of different workplaces. But when you start here, we all kind of sit in the circle and we'll go around and ask you one kind of weird question. And my weird question is the same one I ask everybody because it was the one that was asked on my first day by Sam Walker, who used to be our kids worker. And he said, you go into a dark room, it's pitch black, you can't see anything. You're scared and excited at the same time. What is in that room? And I think you said a drum kit or something.
Yeah, I don't think I would have really understood that question because I don't now.
But it was just a strange question that I keep on pushing out to everybody in the hope that they come up with something insane. But I remember.
What did you say? Your internet history?
I think I said. Well, in that vein, I think I said women. I think I just said women in general.
That was a good joke. That was a good joke.
That was a corker of a joke.
Thanks, mate.
We'll put that up on Twitter as well so that other people can enjoy it. What we talked about? Yeah, no, your first day, you said something miraculous. It was something like you learnt guitar in 3 months or something.
Yeah, I mean, sooner than that, man. During the tricky sixth form time, I left sixth form, and I mean, it's a little bit confusing in my head, but this is how I remember it. So, Mum, I love you so much. If I'm wrong, can you just not bring it up? Because this is how I remember it. So I left sixth form. Actually, no, I left school and had that, I want to go change the world thing. I don't know what I want to do with my life. So I spent about a month in Uganda.
Oh, wow.
And did that and came that same summer. I went to something called Momentum, which is like Soul Survivor, if you've heard of Soul Survivor, but it's a Christian camp for 18s to 30s. Bearing in mind I was 15.
Yeah.
At the time, 16. But I've always had older friends. And I was in a time of singing there, sung worship, and it's just the realest encounter I've ever had with God. And maybe you're listening to this and you're not a Christian or you've never experienced God in this way and you think I'm nuts. Well, I am. But I'm telling you the truth. 10,000 people in this room and it was just me. Just me. My eyes were shut, which helps. No one can see you if your eyes are shut. And I just remember saying God, what do you want for my life? What do you want for my life? I don't care what it is, as long as it's all about you. as long as it glorifies you. And in that moment, God just said, Ben, I want you to be a worship leader. And I think that can mean very different things. But for me, I knew it meant that I was supposed to be the guy at the front with the guitar, leading the worship, like in church and stuff. So I got home next day. I dusted off my dad's guitar. My dad had a guitar. I got it out of the loft. And I just started playing. And I led worship at my house group the next day and led worship in church by the end of the week.
Fantastic. That's that's amazing.
So, I'd never picked up a guitar before that. So it's just like a total kind of download from God. I don't know, like it's so cheesy and cliche and all that, but as I say, like if you're listening to this not with no experience of church and stuff, then you're going to think I'm crazy. But I'm telling you the truth, and you can ask anyone. And then not long after that, I think within 3 months of that, I was asked to lead at a town-wide celebration, which gave me a little bit of profile and stuff.
Cool.
And then stuff's just gone on from there, really.
So, like, and this sounds really, in some ways, needy, actually, in the way that I'm going to say this. But what drew you into the Forge in general? And obviously, we don't want to bang on about this church that we go to.
Yeah, well,
but
no, that's a good question. And it's one that's easy to answer. So, my life was in a place. So it was a perfect storm.
Right.
My life was in a place where I needed a fresh start. And I didn't need it because I was running. I needed it for me.
Right.
So some stuff had happened in my life that it just felt like the chapter was closed. And it felt like I needed to move on. And a lot of that involved my last church. A lot of that involved Colchester.
Yeah.
So I just decided, and then Steve emailed me.
Oh, wow.
So I was kind of praying about it, and I was not frustrated in my job because I love that church, and I feel a bit unfair talking about it without talking to them first, but they had someone in the job that I wanted.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
And
you kind of reached the end of your kind of.
I just had total different ideas.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
And culture changes that not that they were against.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, this is working the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
No, that's fantastic.
So I needed it for me and I needed it for my family. And it was the best decision I've ever made to come here. And the Forge, like what attracted me to the Forge was they do church different to how I know church to be done.
Right.
Which is really important for me because I just can't do the same as someone else is doing. It was really different. It's polar opposite to my other church.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I needed to challenge myself.
Yeah.
It's a great church with great people in it. I love how they pursue excellence and always feel like they fall short of it. That's one of the things that winds me up so much about your work is that it's flipping fantastic. But it always, it never feels like we're totally satisfied, does it? But I love that.
Okay, yeah.
I love that about the church. I felt like I could bring something here. Finn, who did my job before me, was like great and still was part of the team and that.
Yeah.
But I really felt like I could take things forward, which is not very often. I feel like, I could actually bring something here of worth. So
that's quite interesting because when I applied for my job, I can't remember what the advert exactly said, but one of the things was it was a link to their Vimeo page, and then underneath it just said, "Can you do this but better?" And I kind of went, "Yeah, I can." And just kind of went for it, and just kind of went for that. But and because it's really interesting talking to you about this because I don't. Again, it's that surface level understanding of kind of who you are and where you've come from, and I kind of always think of you as the slightly tanned Essex boy who kind of just turned up and started playing guitar.
I'm not tanned, I'm ethnic.
Wait, no, you're Polish, aren't you?
There's
The whitest people in the world.
There's a lot of different blood going around this body.
Ah, okay. You can fight off all the diseases.
Like, yeah, I'm immune. No, anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But
No,
I don't
love it.
fake
No.
tan.
You don't fake tan. No, I'm not saying you fake
just
tan.
have
You
a
just
bronze.
you have a natural bronze
Yeah,
about
I'm
you.
ethnic.
Yeah. But is it because you've put on too much fake tan over the years?
I've never ever used it. Ever.
So yeah, and like it's really interesting just kind of hearing this kind of all this stuff in depth and going through this list because as I said, it was a general list of questions I wanted to ask, and therefore you could see where I was kind of losing patience writing down these questions because I've just got a question that just says wife question mark
Wife?
and then underneath we can link these two together. What kids you got?
Okay. So yeah, my wife is an absolute hero. Because she puts up with me. So we met when I was 10. She was 11, doing some church stuff. We're part of like a drama thingy, drama group that was kind of like cross-church stuff.
Ah, okay, cool.
So we're both Christians, but we went to different churches. And then I just really felt like called to go to her church. Just like really felt like, I should just... just make that move. So yeah, I went to church for the girl.
As you do.
For a long time, and I don't really feel any shame in saying that.
No, I don't think that's a problem. I know that I know quite a few people in the Forge who have done that in the same way. I kind of did. You don't move across the country and not assume that you might find your wife there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But honestly, Kat is my
shame.
wife. She's stunning. So she's always had boyfriends. And mate, I was friend zone. I was like literally.
You haven't. Yeah, it's so
I was literally saved in her phone as baby brother Ben.
It makes me want to curl up in a ball. I
always knew that I would marry her, but I genuinely didn't know
whether she wanted to marry you.
No, I knew she didn't. But I was like, how? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she's way out of my league, and I was. I was a late developer.
Oh, okay.
So I was like 5 foot.
Oh, really?
Till about 16.
Just to put this into context, Ben is now like 8'2", I think it is.
I don't know. 6'2",
6'2". That is, that's for people who don't know. Ben,
I was late. I was late. I mean, I still can't grow a beard.
You've got a bit of neck beard going on. That's the best kind of beard.
So yeah, and then Kat was, just so good to me, like through all this stuff that I've been saying about college and supporting me just as we're best friends. Like, honestly, just best friends. And so through all this rubbish at college, and she used to just like revise with me through the night to try and keep me on track. Like she'd lend me all of her notes, all of her homework. She's just got an incredible work ethic, and she helped me make some such wise decisions in my life. I'd definitely have joined the army if it wasn't for her, which would have been so bad for me. Wow. Not saying joining the army is bad. It would have been so bad for me.
No, but it takes the right person.
Yeah.
To do it,
gosh.
You know what I mean?
She taught me out of that. But anyway, so in 20, so on her 18th birthday, she's 25 now. So how many years? What year is that, Alex? Help me.
2010, 2011, something like that. Yeah.
Her 18th birthday. I just went for it.
Oh, really?
Just went for it.
Oh, amazing.
Just absolutely went for it.
Wait, when you say went for it, do you mean snog?
Mate, not even snog.
Ooh.
Just like she went for the old peck on the cheek. I just did the old turn to the lips.
Nice.
Yeah, so not even like snog. Like when I say went for it, I'm not even talking about a snog. I
apologise to my wife because she hates it when I say the word snog.
Snog is a horrible word.
It is a horrible word.
It just implies moisture, doesn't it? And saliva.
Okay,
but anyway,
wait. We have to take a pause to do this, just to ruin everybody's day. Okay. After 3, we just say moist really close into the mic. No. Moist.
I went a bit Voldemort there.
You were very Voldemort, yeah.
So anyway, I just went for it. And then nothing happened.
Right.
And I remember like she'd just got her driver's license. So we used to drive everywhere, like just go on long drives together. We were genuinely best friends. And it wasn't weird after we'd kissed, but nothing else happened.
Oh, okay.
So I met up with her a week after and I was like, so, anything changed? What's going on?
Yeah.
She was like, don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, no.
And she did. She's just like, it was so, that was the time it was quite awkward. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to leave this.
Has she since explained what was going through her head at that point, or is she not?
No, she was just like, just wanted to avoid the question, really.
Oh, really?
And then we kept going on these drives, and then some of the drives would end up with a little kiss at the end of them.
Oh.
And then, because I remember like my dad laughing with me because she'd park up outside our house and the engine would run for ages.
Ah, of course.
And genuinely would just be chatting.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
But sometimes we'd have a little kiss.
Oh.
And my dad would be like, engine was left on for a while out there, Ben. But anyway,
Keeping in the
I don't think Kat knows that, but she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Kat, what are you doing?
I know, she's terrible.
Come on.
She can't stand the sound of my voice. She hears it enough. But anyway, so then I just stole her Facebook. Just said we're in a relationship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we was sitting in bed watching a film.
Yeah.
Door open over the covers.
Christian dating.
Yeah, and I just remember I remember stealing her laptop because that was when like that's what made it official.
Oh yeah,
and
of
I
course,
just put in a relationship with me, and then I hear from up the stairs, Cat, which is Cat's mum's. I'm like, yeah, probably should have spoken to them first. But anyway, so then we were dating for a while. She did uni.
Yeah.
And then I asked her to marry me, hired an island, which was pretty cool.
Hired an island. Okay, you have to explain that. What hired an island?
I hired an island where we live in Essex. It sounds like rough, but
there's an island.
It's gorgeous, yeah. So there's an island called Mersey Island, which you might have heard of. But off of Mersey Island, there's just it's a little piece of land with like a big kind of long shed in it, but nice.
Yeah.
And it was just like a 5-minute boat ride. Yeah. But you could hire it. Wow. So I hired an island and I stuck all of her friends on it and said it was for her 21st birthday.
Wow.
So they had no idea. I didn't tell anyone. I did not tell one person. Actually, I told one friend, my friend John. And before we decided to get married, I went to America to do my thing. We just felt like we needed some time apart. So not like break up or anything, but it's just like, God, what do you want us to do with our lives? Okay, well, let's pursue these things. She went to Romania on a gap year. I went to America to like Bethel, which is an amazing school, and got taught how to do my job now, basically. Yeah. And then we came back and I was like, man, I want to do the rest of my life with Kat. So I hired this island, bought the ring and everything while she was on her gap, which made it really easy to plan. Yeah. Told all of her friends and family to be at this place at this time for her 21st birthday. Yeah. And then I spend all day with Kat, proposed to her on the boat. She's like, Then she turns around and all of her friends and family are like, ooh,
oh, amazing.
Happy birthday. And she's like, And then I make a speech and I'm like, this is my fiance. And then everyone goes crazy. And it was really fun. It was really, really fun.
Okay, my wife doesn't actually listen to this podcast either. Please never tell her that story.
Okay. What did you say? So you wanna
do this? Snog? No.
But I said, like I said, like I'm an occasions guy. Like,
right? Yeah, of course.
And I had the time to plan it because she was away.
That's amazing. It's an amazing story.
I'll show you the photos. It was sick.
The fact that I didn't even know you could hire an island in this country is amazing.
Yeah, I mean it's not. It is what it is, but
yeah, of course. Yeah.
It wasn't like expensive or anything. The thing that was expensive was getting everyone to the island.
Of course, yeah.
Hiring the little guy to go forwards and backwards.
Wow.
For like 120 people.
About to say, how many people does that?
Well, you could get like 6. So I hired 2 boats.
Seriously?
You get 6 people on at a time, unless Then I had Kat's nana in a wheelchair on, so it was a little bit complicated. My brothers had to, shout out to my brothers if you're listening to this, because they did a hard graft that day, pulling in all the boats. And it was like, but anyway, then we got married 4 years ago today.
Amazing. Amazing.
So I was young to get married, but I've got no regrets.
Well, I was about to say, you're also, because there's kind of at the Forge in general, you may know this, you may not, at the Forge in general, among some of the, well, obviously it's slightly different for me now, but when I wasn't married, there was this kind of, amongst some of the men of our age, I am 27, some of the people I was living with at the time, they were 25, 23 or whatever, and it was kind of this thing where you put us to shame because you'd already got your life kind of on track. You'd married your dream girl and you had a kid, and we were all just sitting around going, should we play Fortnite? Should we play Fortnite tonight? Yeah.
I've missed the boat on that one. Yeah, no. So JJ, my son was, I wouldn't want to say unplanned, but we didn't expect to have him that quickly.
No, fair enough.
So me and Kat spent the first year of marriage away, like we got a flat together, rented, and then decided to move back in with her parents because that's something like we wanted to save for a house.
Yeah.
And then, something happened.
You don't have to go into detail. It's okay. It's fine.
Well, I know that you're going to ask me.
No, I'm not going to ask you about that.
I thought you were going to ask me about Star Wars.
A little peek behind the curtain. I do know the kind of backstory to all this. I wasn't going to go into it.
No.
Let's not. But anyway, JJ happened.
JJ happened. And so we moved out.
Yeah.
We moved out again. So our plan was to kind of have JJ within kind of 3 years at that time.
Yeah.
But it turns out, it doesn't. It
didn't take
that. Yeah, it didn't take that long.
Yeah, and now you're expecting your second.
Yeah, we're expecting our second, which was planned.
I missed out on your gender reveal. I was really upset because I was away.
Oh yeah,
and I couldn't. The internet was terrible where I was, and I was desperately trying to refresh Instagram Live or whatever.
Oh yeah,
to try and find your thing.
Oh man.
So what did you actually do? Because I missed it. I think I watched it back later on, but I missed the premise of it. What was the premise of the gender reveal?
It's on my face. Like I'd love to give people my Instagram. It's a bit less private, but
yeah.
Well, actually, I post more on Instagram than Facebook. But
yeah.
if you send me a request on Facebook, but I don't think I've got any sort of privacy on there, so you can probably just see it anyway. But
social media.
So
expert.
We got our sonographer, which is the person that puts the gel on Kat's tummy and does the thing, to write down what she thought the gender was. Not what she thought. It's not
what she could see the gender was. Medical professional.
What she could see the gender was on an envelope, seal it, we don't look at it. We then gave that envelope to our friend Sophie Tapscott. Shout out, Soph. And she prepared 12 eggs. And 11 of them were hard-boiled.
Yeah.
6 of them are blue, 6 of them are pink.
Yeah.
We go on Facebook Live, and it turned out to be what JJ did. We didn't plan on having him in the video because never plan anything with a 2-year-old. But he then smashes the eggs on our head.
Okay.
Till the raw one comes out, which is the gender of the baby.
Amazing.
And it was so fun, man. Like over, I think like 1,200 people have watched it.
That's
or something.
cool.
Like
That's really cool.
Like it just, I couldn't believe how many people are online.
Yeah. And like with all this joy happening, you just had me in like a hotel room shaking my phone, desperately trying to find out, because I was really interested, because I did, your wife did put up she put up like a thing saying, "Oh, guess the gender.
Yeah.
See if you're right."
Yeah.
And so I put in a guess.
What did you think?
I'd said girl, so
Nice.
I was really happy I was right.
Man, but having a girl's so different already.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to alienate half the audience really, because they're supposed to be millennials and they probably don't have a thought. Like even the word child probably sends shivers.
Yeah.
But that's another Suffolk thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So all of my friends, so many of my friends in Colchester are like at the same stage we were at.
Yeah, and have kids and stuff.
And married and kids, engaged and stuff. So coming up here, we're kind of the first. Well, not the first, but really quite young to be.
Yeah.
But having a girl feels really different. It's exciting, man. I have no idea what to do with a girl.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean,
it's terrifying.
I don't want to get into trouble, right? but I will by someone. But like, because I should raise my girl exactly the same as I've raised my boy.
Right, yeah.
Because that's how it is nowadays.
Okay, yeah. Gender neutral.
But I play football with JJ. I'm going to plait hair with my baby girl.
Yeah.
I don't know how to plait hair.
Yeah.
I hardly know how to play football. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to do with a girl. And hey, girls can play football. Like, give me a break. But do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I have no idea. Like, ballet.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Hairstyles, little hairbands.
But at the same time, surely you don't want to go the other way, where you're out in the rain with your little girl on a football pitch. You're telling her to score a goal, and she just wants to go inside and plait her hair.
Yeah,
you desperately want it to be gender neutral.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. Yeah, this is a rocky road.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I would
It doesn't bother me that much.
I would identify, to be honest, as quite liberal on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like way liberal on a lot of things without getting into too much trouble, but I don't get a lot of the gender stuff. I'm like quite traditional.
Okay.
When it comes to that stuff. Not so much the trans stuff, because I think that's a separate thing, but like I don't want to be known as either, like
blue versus pink kind of thing. Yeah.
It's I don't want to be identified as either gender, like that confuses me.
Well, because I always see it as, because I've always been of the opinion it's okay for boys and girls to have their separate things.
Yeah, definitely.
And to, if they're interested in that, to kind of encourage that in the same way you say you don't necessarily tell them to dress in pink, but if they want to dress in pink, you encourage them to do that. It's the same thing. But at the same time, I've always been of the mind, like, you let them decide for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not, I'd like to think I'm compassionate to thinking like, hey, I mean, because it's in my family. That's why I feel like I have authority to speak on it, is because it's in my family.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't know anyone that's really struggling with this. I'm more traditional in that sense, so I will raise my girl as a girl, and that will offend a lot of people. But come at me.
I think
at me about it. I'm going to raise my girl as a girl, and I've raised my boy as a boy.
Hashtag girl as a girl, boy as a boy. Get that going. No,
and if that's not for you, that's cool. But just don't talk to me about it.
She's due in around Christmas.
Oh, mate,
well.
December 27th. What the heck?
Wow. Yeah.
So that wasn't planned.
No, of course
But
not.
by that time, at time of consummation, I wasn't thinking about that.
I love backdating people's birthdays and finding out what was going on in people's lives.
Go on then. Do you know what? So what would December 27th be?
December 27th would be like March, April time, wouldn't it? So little Easter fun.
Oh yeah, I remember, because it was the melted chocolate. No, anyway.
Because like the obvious one is anybody who's born in not September. Anybody who's born in like November time, it's Valentine's Day.
So
that's always the thing.
September
I find
must be Christmas.
Yeah.
Or Star Wars release dates.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Ben, for being interviewed and being on the other side of the microphone.
Mate, anytime. It's been fun. I forgot we were recording a podcast for the whole thing, which I guess is kind of the point.
And thank you for letting me take over the reins.
It's fine. I nearly took over a couple of times, but you did a good job.
Ben gave me some faces, and he clearly just was trying to hang on for dear life as I was screwing this all up.
So for me, what hasn't happened is the Top Gear thing.
The Top Gear thing, right?
I'm Clarkson, and now Top Gear's not worth watching.
Right. Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
And that's not happened.
Oh, good.
So it's more. No, for me, it's more like a Wogan leaving Eurovision.
Oh, nice.
And like, hey, Graham's doing
all right. Yeah,
he's honouring Terry.
He mocks some people.
Yeah.
Behind their back.
Yeah, it's more of a Eurovision situation.
And that's the nicest thing that Ben has ever said to me. And so on that, we're gonna wrap it up. But Eden Gathering.
Is there some stuff that people should know?
We've got to go, and we've got to talk about the things, the plugs, the stuff that we've got to do contractually, because otherwise we get fired. Anyway, the Eden Gathering is happening on the 5th.
6th, mate, I think.
Is it the 6th? I screwed it up already.
That's all right. I'll be back next week.
But anyway, yeah, we've got.
Is it the 6th?
I'm actually checking right now because I'm freaking out. Eden Gathering. Oh, I'll put my phone on airplane mode. Anyway, do you want to plug any? In the meantime, do you want to plug anything? Your Twitters, your Instagrams.
Oh yeah. Well,
your
I'm
Facebooks apparently aren't private.
I'm at Benjamin Lasky everywhere, and I just want to hear from people about the podcast, whether that's this one or any of them, because the only reason we do the podcast is to engage with people. So if you guys don't engage, then it's not worth doing.
It's not worth doing. Ben was right. It's on the 6th.
It's on the 6th.
It's on the 6th next Thursday. Or
it's on the website.
It's on the website.
edengathering.co.uk.
I've done an amazing job with this. I am Alex Laver on Instagram and on Twitter because my last name is dumb, which means I get all the good handles. I have to tell myself to play the music now.
Play the music.
Alex, play the music.
How does it go?
Vaguely ethnic music.
Alex Laver, yeah, he's a saviour. Being weird and quirky, yeah, irrational behaviour. Alex, or AKA his patches, he blows people's minds with the footage that he captures. Laver, the man behind the camera with his style inspired by a llama. No drama. Alex is so cool. He makes the podcast. We use him like a tool. Yeah, Alex, we love you, and it's time to find out more. So I'll ask you some questions. Please don't be a bore. Get the next guest on.